we did hear the government chief whip who said something very interesting, political or otherwise. He represents government. And one of these bills, the most controversial one, was a government bill, the UPDF amendment bill. He said, for us, we have decided that this bill is going to be passed in its form, in its shape, as it is. So, government, why did you then bring that bill to Parliament? If you wanted to pass it, why did you not just decree, like Idi Amin Dada used to do? Decree and say this is law. Because when you bring the bill to Parliament, that means you're going to subject it to scrutiny of members of Parliament, of committees, and different stakeholders. But they were saying, no, for us, we have decided it will pass as is. Meaning even the input of committees and other stakeholders was disregarded totally. We said, let's go to the House and raise this matter again, because that's our platform. And we said we are not going to make it easy for them. So this morning, we went to the House, and as you saw, I did raise this matter for the umpteenth time to say, Madam Speaker, can we proceed within the law? You cannot bring reports when there's not been time for consultation. That means they are reports of just a few people. We also got information that the majority committee report of the Joint Committee must have been generated. We don't know whether it be from State House or wherever, but members were just called to sign because yesterday they left the hotel where they were before the report was worked on. They went to State House in Entebbe. They did not return to the hotel where they were processing together as a joint committee. Even for our colleagues to be able to have their minority view heard, to say, okay, now this is what you have processed as a joint committee, but we are disagreeing. They did not go back to the hotel. Instead, this morning, we understand they were just called and said, you come and sign. Where? Parliament or whatever. So they were just coming to append their signature. That means even the committee process did not end as it should have. Because that's how you produce committees. I mean, committee reports. You sit, agree, disagree, produce either one report or multiple reports. But they ran away, and they did not go back. We have made our case. We have made every effort to try and appeal to the reason of the Speaker, and she has failed. So we said, no, we are not going to be part of sanitizing a sham process. We chose to leave them to continue with their sham process, and we have taken a decision that we are going to court over these matters because we have adequate grounds. One, of course, Article 92 of the Constitution is being flouted. The decision of the Supreme Court is being disregarded. But two, there was no consultation. And you say these people are not smart. Even when you want to do something, you have an end in mind. At least you consult. Listen to the various views of different stakeholders. Then you can disagree with them. But first listen to them. They did not want to do that. I mean, in the past, we have been part of bills which we disagree with and so on. But we remain up to the very end, put out our minorities and so on. And then we say, okay, the majority have had their way, but the minority have had their say. In this case, they did not even want the minority to have their say. That's why we said we will not be part of that sham process. So we are going to court to raise these grounds. One, we are telling court, government and Parliament for that matter is in contempt of a decision of court, the Supreme Court at that. Number two, due process was not followed. There was no consultation. Even the way the majority committee report was arrived at, it was sham. And that's the matter we want to take this matter to court and put the courts to the test. And we are glad that sometimes when the courts are put to the test, they do come out, like they did in the matter, this very matter. Because the matter went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, no, civilians should not be taken to military courts. We are hoping that the courts will speak out again in defense of their space. And of course, we know that there's different stakeholders that have hinted on a possibility of going to court, whether it be civil society organizations and others. We'll connect with them. We'll connect with them so that we get to have a joint suit and be able to put this matter to the test.